Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield. I'm the Get Fit Guy, and in today's episode, you're going to learn whether a 20-minute long, once-a-week workout actually works. Now, I recently read an article in Inc. magazine called Why This 20-Minute Once-a-Week Workout is the Best Thing Ever for Office Workers. Well, with one eyebrow raised at the hyperbole, I nonetheless delved into the article and discovered that it explains the science and the practice of a specific type of exercise training that I personally implement, and I've found to be really time efficient. I actually did it this morning, and I'm going to help you discover now exactly what that style of movement is and how to get the most bang for your exercise buck in just 20 minutes. Now, in the article, the author describes her growing frustration over being strapped to a chair all day at the office, unable to adequately exercise, and then her amazement upon speaking to her 50-something-year-old fit hairstylist who goes to a place where she's strapped into special exercise machines, wears her regular clothes, doesn't break a sweat, and performs a full-body workout in 20 minutes. She then goes on to describe something called high-intensity, slow-motion strength training, in which you would do something like, say, a machine leg press, but you'd only do one single set, and you would take a very long, drawn-out, all the muscles in my body burning time to perform that set, like doing 9 reps over 3 minutes. You'd then hit every other major muscle group from upper body to core with just one single, hard, teeth-gritting, super slow set, and voila, within 20 minutes, you're done. Better yet, according to a study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, this style of training can actually work, at least for older adults who need to maintain strength. In that study, a group of subjects 65 to 79 years old were randomly assigned to 2 groups, who each performed a set of exercises to muscular fatigue. Group 1 trained 1 day a week, and Group 2 trained 2 days a week using 3 lower and 3 upper body exercises for a total of 9 weeks. Using this style of training, researchers noted no difference in strength changes between training once a week versus twice a week. Now, let's face it, this style of one single hard weekly super slow training routine probably isn't going to break any Olympic records, but it appears to be a viable strategy for staying fit when time is limited, and perhaps better yet, as the author notes in the article, you don't have to hunt down fancy exercise machines to do this style of training, and using your own body weight, a kettlebell, or a set of dumbbells, along with moves like the squat, the lunge, the push-up, the overhead press, and a pull-up or a row, you could easily perform 4 to 6 different super slow exercises for each body section in your home, your backyard, your basement, or your office. Well, this latest article actually backs up some other research that I highlighted in an episode a few years ago. Now, in that episode I mentioned, Does Super Slow Training Work? From last year, I described that the idea behind super slow training is that by decreasing the speed of movement, you can create more tension in your muscles. And this higher time under tension has indeed been shown to increase strength dramatically. But it's important to note that the increase in strength primarily crosses over to muscle stability and the ability to, you guessed it, move high loads slowly. And that's great news for someone who needs to, say, pick up a heavy bag of groceries from the floor, but doesn't transfer too much into explosive power and speed necessary for athletic performances like hitting a golf ball farther or rebounding a basketball. But there's another benefit to super slow training, benefit to your heart and your entire cardiovascular system. And in another episode, which I'll link to in the show notes, just go to quickanddirtytips.com and look for the show notes for this episode, episode 307. I describe how a physician and exercise researcher named Doug McGuff, who has created a style of super slow training and who has even created a study entitled Resistance Training to Momentary Muscular Failure Improves Cardiovascular Fitness in Humans. Now, in that study, super slow training resistance trained to muscular failure resulted in the same type of cardiovascular adaptations you'd get if you were to, say, go out for a long run. That included a better ability to buffer lactic acid, increased density of the mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing powerhouses of your cells, and much more. And I describe in another episode how when you lift a heavy weight slowly, you produce adrenaline, and adrenaline causes the arteries in your muscles to dilate. That causes a decrease in something called peripheral resistance, which is a measurement of your blood pressure, and an increase in cardiac output, how much blood your heart can pump, and no changes in the type of central blood pressure that can be dangerous to the heart. The squeezing action of slowly contracting muscles actually milks blood back to the heart, and this means that for people with high blood pressure, lifting weights slowly may actually be less stressful to the heart than aerobic exercise, which doesn't result in that same milking action. So, in summary, it turns out that there really is something to super slow training, especially if you're tight on time. However, due to the lack of efficacy of super slow training for things like speed, power, and explosiveness, and the fact that it can get a bit boring to do, I recommend mixing it up with other types of moves like explosive bodyweight training, high-intensity cardio intervals, and easy, fasted, fat-burning workouts. Now, I describe a scenario and a summary and a program of exactly how you could do that in my article entitled How to Look Good Naked and Live a Long Time. And I'll link to that article over in the show notes as well. Just go to Quick and Dirty Tips and look for this episode number 307. And if you have more questions about 20-minute workouts or anything else you heard on today's show, go to facebook.com/getfitguy and join the conversation over there. I'd be happy to hear what you have to say. And until next time, I'm Ben Greenfield, the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.